In the 2000s, a series of frictions brought together Timbaland, Nelly Furtado, and Justin Timberlake in one of the biggest diss tracks of pop music, the song Give It To Me. Hi, my name is Henrique and welcome to Ricky Resenha, a channel that talks about any type of music, and today I'm gonna play a type of TMZ and Genius guy to unravel all the controversies by one of the biggest hits of the 2000s. No more delays, let's begin. The year was 2007 and Timbaland was at the height of his career, spinning out hits for the biggest shots in the industry. About to release his solo album, he had just produced two great projects that previous year: Justin Timberlake's second album Future Sex Love Sounds and Nelly Furtado breakthrough third album Lose, where Justin also participated. Out of these collabs came Give It To Me, the lead single from Timbaland's album that year. Despite the names involved, it was an instant hit, but within weeks it climbed the charts, riding the wave of digital sales and radio play, becoming a global sensation. Musically, Give It To Me flaunts Timbaland's signature production style, characterized by intricate beats, a fusion of genres like southern hip-hop, pop and R&B, and a contrast of electronic and acoustic sound textures. In my opinion, this last feature is what makes the song sonically so interesting. The raw acoustic drum beat dominates the song, while secondary synth sounds support the melody. We have this formula in several Timbo songs, but here there are fewer sound elements that combine with little vocal treatment, as if three friends got together to freestyle without pretension to complain about their beefs. Before we deep dive into the lyrics, let's give props to Danja and Attitude, who are also credited in the song. They've got their fingerprints on countless 2000s hits, many with Timbaland. Now let's dig into the lyrics, and if you like videos like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps me to keep this project going on. I will start with Timbaland's part where he basically targets the producer Scott Storch, as confirmed in an MTV interview. Scott started as a keyboardist from the roots and became a famous producer with songs like Still Dre and Candy Shop. After he started working on Timbo's labels, they became good friends and even collaborated on Justin's debut album, Justified, especially in the song Cry Me a River where he played the piano. However, Scott felt he deserved some producer credit on the track, claiming he co-created with Timbaland, throwing the bridge and melody. More things must have happened behind the scenes, because years later, Timbaland would shade Scott, accusing him of ingratitude in Give It To Me, singing, "I'm a real producer and you just a piano man." In return, Scott dropped a diss track called Built Like That, saying that yes, I'm the piano man, and being very direct, accusing Timbaland of leaning on Danja's work, criticizing his weight, among other things. A year later, they resolved themselves, as Timbo offered help to Scott, who was facing a financial crisis and drug addiction. Timbaland also regretted writing that line on Give It To Me. A fun fact is that in 2006, Christina Aguilera released the album Back to Basics with an interlude called FUSS, or Fuck You Scott Storch. They collaborated on Strip It, and for some reason they split up. The opening of the track has a piano solo that certainly is a reference to Scott's playing.
Apologies were made, things were worked out, and the misunderstandings were all, where the amnesia ended.
What if we dive into more musical disses for the next video? Tell me what you think, and if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to like the video because it's important for the YouTube metrics. Moving to Nelly, her beef was about Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. Both on top of their game, with Fergie releasing her solo album The Duchess, containing among other hits the single Fergalicious. Meanwhile, just months after Nelly's Promiscuous dominates the charts, Fergie drops her single with a line that adds fuel to the fire, Fergalicious, but I ain't promiscuous, which made the public quickly pick up the hint. According to Star magazine, there was a confrontation between Nelly and Fergie at the backstage of an award show, but Fergie brushed it off, denying that anything happened. Unconvinced, Nelly seems to address the singer in Give It To Me. "I'm the type of girl that look you dead in the eye," about their backstage confronting. "I've seen you try to switch it up, but girl, you ain't that though. For going solo maybe? Love my ass and my abs" in the video for Promiscuous. In the beginning, she didn't confirm it was a response, but apparently Fergie fired back in That Is Yankee Impacto remix, belting out, I am promiscuous, the rarest shake up on this. I'ma pull your wig back. Coincidence or not, Scott Storch was in the production of this remix. It's unclear how real the fight was because I couldn't confirm some informations, but it caused quite a media stir. Days after Impacto's release, Fergie talked to CBS News about Furtado and she said, "I've talked about it, I'm done talking about it, I think both of us have careers and we can rely on our talent. If Fergie wanted to appease, I don't think she would throw a new hint. And that's why it's unclear if Impacto's was a new shade." In 2010, Furtado said to Metro that she regretted recording Give It To Me due to the negative content. At the time, she was feeling drained and making a shift away from the loose image, which might explain her exit from the pop scene. Justin Timberlake's side of the story had the least material impact, but today with the internet backlash his lines gained more attention. Rumor has it that the opening verses touched on Janet Jackson in the context of the Super Bowl incident in 2004. On one of the rare occasions that Janet addressed the subject, Oprah asked her about Justin's stance and she responded,
Justin, we were friends. And not that we aren't now, we haven't spoken, but I consider him a friend, and certain things you just don't do to friends.
About that, Justin sings in Give It To Me. "Could you speak up and stop mumbling? I don't think you came in clear. Now I saw you trying to act cute on TV. Just let me clear the air." In Janet's Lifetime documentary from 2022, she clarified that they are good friends. But over the years, the public has questioned the disproportionality that Janet suffered compared to Justin, blaming him for taking little responsibility. When Framing Britney Spears was released in 2021, the cancellation was so big that he had to issue a public apology to both Britney and Janet. Whether that verse was indeed about Janet's interview remains a mystery. The next part is more direct because it involves the music legend Prince. After Timberlake's Sexy Back topped the charts, Prince joked on his Emmy After Party show, "For whoever is claiming that they are bringing Sexy back, Sexy never left." Looks like Justin took it to heart because in Give It To Me he sings, "We missed you on the charts last week." Damn, that's right, you wasn't there. Now if Sex never left, then why is everybody on my shit? Don't hate on me just because you didn't come up with it. Justin had already mocked Prince on the 2007 Golden Globes when he accepted on his behalf the award for Best Original Song. Despite this, Justin never hid his admiration and often cited Prince as a significant influence. When JT was casting the 2018 Super Bowl halftime show, his Give It To Me verses resurfaced both because of Janet and Prince. Some of the public thought it wasn't fair considering everything that went down in Janet's edition. On this matter, Janet stated that Justin had invited her to perform again, but she declined, not wanting to reopen old wounds. With the game set in Prince's city, Minneapolis, Justin aimed to pay tribute to the late singer who passed away in 2016. This wasn't just because of JT's past actions, but also because Prince had been explicit about his disdain for holographic technology and artificial collaborations, labeling them the most demonic thing imaginable, and that he would prevent something like that happening to him. Even so, the duet went ahead with Prince's image projected during the show. Also, days before, JT held a listening party for his album Man of the Woods on Prince's estate Paisley Park. Timberlake's Super Bowl had mixed reviews, especially because of Prince's tribute that stole the show. In response to the backlash, the halftime producer Rick Kirshner said, "There was never an idea to have a hologram, and his family gave permission. I think the hologram thing had too much attention because the whole Prince's speech says, if I was mean to Jen with Duke Ellington, we would have lived in the same age." And what they did with the Beatles song, by the way, you can check my video about that, manipulating John Lennon's voice to have him singing from across the grave, that will never happen to me. And it happened. Last year, Give It To Me made a comeback on TikTok, creating a buzz. Seizing the hype, Timbaland, Nelly, and Justin joined forces once again for the fresh track titled Keep It Going Up, a continuation of the conversation of Give It To Me, reframing success as relative to one's journey rather than a competition. As Timbaland was already working on JT's future album, he said that more collabs with Nelly Furtado will come too. Keep It Going Up barely made the charts, although I think it would never come close to what the trio made commercially in the 2000s. As always, links and references are in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for watching the video and I hope to see you in the other ones. Go check it out!